Thanks, Eric. As Eric said, I'm Jamie Punishall. I am responsible for the redistribution of the market data that Thomson Reuters has to more than 200,000 financial advisors and 1,000 retail brokerages around the globe. And today I want to talk to you about the latest platform that we've constructed to make it really easy to take market data, books and records information, partner with third parties, and create next-generation investing websites and mobile applications. Every website runs the same way. Books and records, market data, transactions, and there's a real challenge for firms today to manage a couple of issues that they've got. The first is, how do you take heterogeneous market data sources, ILX codes and tickers, Morningstar data and Lipper data, and bring it all together in a way that's meaningful that your customers can transact or your advisors can use to manage assets? Two, how do you take those things and manifest them in interesting visual ways that you could put in iPads and phones, in-store kiosks, and on websites? Three, you've got an IT queue that's 18 miles long. It's 18 months to do anything interesting and keep up with your customers because you're filled with compliance and regulatory issues. And the App Store is designed to solve those problems. So why don't we just jump right on in? I got my trusty colleague Chris here, who's going to play the role of head of e-commerce at some fictional broker-dealers that we've invented. And so he's jumped into his App Store for directbank.com. And you can see when Chris logs in and he takes a look at his App Store, he has 8 different widgets that we've built and that we've partnered to construct that he can use and integrate with his consumer website, directbank.com. So if we go over to Direct Bank website, we've mocked up a little site here, and he's going to log in, and you're going to see what his customer would typically see. And this will look a lot like what most brokerage websites look like today. Log in, access your portfolio. He's due for a redesign. He wants to do something a lot more interesting. He's seen a really neat idea here at Finovate. It's a real struggle for him to do this. So he's going to go back over to the App Store, and he's going to take a look and say, you know, I want something with technical analysis. Who can help me add technical analysis information to my website? Oh, there's a neat little widget from SmartStops. A cool little player out of Los Angeles who has a really neat dynamic trailing stock algorithm that takes technical analysis, translates it into plain English for the average investor. So he's going to go in and he's going to preview his app. And what you're looking at now is a live HTML5 widget that he gets in his test environment. And you got a couple of things going on here that are really important to note in the plumbing of the App Store. The first is you see all those positions and holdings. Those are actually coming out of the beta back office that Thomson Reuters has. We power 30 broker-dealers around the globe, including Wells Fargo and Ameriprise. And so today, as a Thomson Reuters customer, Chris can take that widget from SmartStops, and already he's got direct integration back with his back office. But he doesn't just need the holdings data. He, of course, needs market data. So you can see along the middle there, we've got the last and the change. And we've concorded what was an ILX feed and a RIC feed. They speak different symbologies and different languages. We've got a canonical data model that's bringing all those things together. Third, if you look under the risk state and the SmartStops, you can see that we've given SmartStops the ability to use our SDK to load their data into that canonical data model, map it, and they use tickers, yet a third symbology set, and make it mash up and streamlined for the customer to see with no idea that they're using different data from different sources with different languages. And finally, and importantly, we've included transaction integration. So when this goes live in Chris's direct.com website, he'll be able to actually track which widget somebody was using and integrate it fully into their order entry system. So let's actually do that. You can see SmartStops gives Chris the ability to transform and customize his widget so it can do different things based on what he wants to deliver in his experience. They've got 2 different kinds of analytics, short and long term. So he switches, he saves, he says, awesome, I want to put that in my website. He goes over to export. We're going to add a security layer, and you can see that the site has now generated code for his development team to integrate into the website. I don't have a development team here. I've got Chris, but Chris works miracles. So he's going to press the miracle button. We're going to paste that code directly into this website. Don't do this at home, folks. It's not real secure. And you can see that we've now added the SmartStops widget to the Direct Bank website. Same back-end data as that holdings widget you saw a second ago. And when he clicks trade, it's going to pop open the order entry screen. And he's now got a fully functioning widget because he's done a one-time integration with his back-end and our App Store. Anybody can have an App Store, so we've created another broker for you to look at, First Trade. Chris is now changing hats to be the head of e-commerce for First Trade. He also is due for a redesign. If we log in, we see he's got a very basic website. He's offering a different database, just a portfolio watch list that you might find at Yahoo or MSN or somewhere like that. He wants to spice this page up. He wants to give multiple different kinds of views and give his investors some insight. And so we're going to go back to that miracle button. And what's actually happening is we're pasting in 4 different widgets coming out of the App Store. All the widgets are hosted in our data centers. We've got a security handshake with his website. And you can see, where'd you go, Chris? You can see we've got some funny things going on here. We put this funny orange dotted border so that you can see that we're going to make every app look and feel and interoperate with every other thing on your website. So Chris goes back into his App Store, and he's going to go into his global preferences. I'm going to watch him go through the tree here. And what we've done is we have parameterized every visual element, every interactive element, everything we can think of that will allow the widgets to not only look and feel like your widgets, but interoperate and talk to every other area of your site. So he's going into the application frame here. He's turning off that border. Again, you're seeing the live HTML5 environment that tells your designers, indeed, we've customized this properly. And you'll notice, if you keep checking out these advanced settings, that we have parameterized all kinds of very cool things. For example, symbology resolution. Again, if your site speaks RIC and you want to do a federated search and you've got different data sources, we will translate all of that for you so that the federated search can call up all the different widgets for you. Big problem for many firms. If you've got an English population and a Spanish-speaking population and a Chinese-speaking population, as most large financial institutions do or media sites do, we give the ability to go in, select the language, we've mapped it, and now every widget will render using that particular language set. Application frames, headers, numbers, tables, doesn't matter. We've put it in here for a one-time setup. Chris is going to save that. He's going to go back over to First Trade. He's going to refresh. Of course, it's coming from our data center, so the widgets now render, and you'll notice no more dots. The other thing you'll notice as these widgets come up, they're all coming off the same database. 4 different widgets, a chart, comparative chart, a heat map, and 2 different third-party widgets, all coming from the same database, all being rendered from the App Store. If you're a developer and you want that kind of distribution, if you want to be one of the first financial institutions to alpha this, come talk to us afterwards. Thank you very much.